Hey, y'all. Welcome to episode 115 of Consignment Chats. Ladies, how are you?
Ready to roll.
Good.
Ready to roll. Listen, we are just coming off of an amazing collaborative event, our Listapalooza, the March Madness that we did with Sarah Marshall of Four Corners. And we did so much listing that we feel like, I don't know, we need to talk about listing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we did for like 4 straight days, list. So we have probably learned even more things. So I think we should talk to our viewers, our listeners, our friends, our chatters, and share with them some tips, tricks, ins and outs, crazies, favorite places to list, that kind of thing. Favorite part of a listing.
Favorite places to list.
I know. I'm imagining like a Dr. Seuss book now. Like I list in a house. I list on a couch. I list.
I list on top of it. No. Meaning platforms when I said favorite places to list, not my living room, my office, or my bathroom.
Right over my head.
My favorite place was on vacation. That was great.
Right? No, so there's a cool thing, right? I mean, listing on the road. I mean, you've done it. I've done it. Libby's done it. We've all listed on the road. That's such a, well, I call it an easy thing to do. I think it would depend on what you're listing, right? So Samantha, when you listed on the road, what did you list?
Not very many clothes, because clothes are harder. But shoes, I know you can feel this, Molly. Shoes are easy.
So easy. So easy. Yeah.
Oh, I haven't listed shoes on the road. Okay.
So easy.
Oh, shoes are easy on the road. The only thing on the road is you have to think about traveling with shoes, because I have gotten shoes on the road many times. So you have to think about the way you're traveling, how those items are coming back. I know we have other reseller friends like Vicky, who has gone to Colorado and done sourcing, and she and Katie have shipped massive boxes back of their sourced items. When you do something like that, obviously you take into account the shipping costs that you're doing to do that. I typically try to take an empty bag wherever I go, if I'm flying or on a train, or I try to take I'll put like a suitcase in a suitcase, right? So fill the little one, put it inside the big one. And that way, if Molly gets crazy,
suitcase in a suitcase trick.
Suitcase in a suitcase, because if Molly decides to source, she's got somewhere to put it.
On a plane, on a train, in the rain.
With a bear and my hair over there.
A thing that I found a lot of on my last big vacation was board games. I love listing board games. I would get them super cheap, just 50 cents or $1 at these different thrift stores or flea markets. And I break them into pieces. So you just list like the tokens and the board and the different parts of it. Love doing that. And then they go all back in their box. So they're easy to just pile in your trunk or wherever or in a bag in your trunk, and they're kept safe because you're usually not selling the box. Like the box is not part of it, but it at least stores them until you get back home and can baggy up all the individual things.
So
I thought you were crazy, but I'm liking the way you described that of parting them out. It's hard not at home, but I never thought about the travel aspect of it.
Yeah.
Cool.
So go ahead.
I was gonna say, or bring baggies with you. I brought baggies on my last one. Then you don't have to keep the boxes. They take up even less space, and you can just have everything bagged up. It could go either way.
I like to, if I know I'm going somewhere, but I still want to keep my listings going if I'm going on vacation, I do one of two things. I either create drafts that are sitting ready to go live, and each morning when I wake up from wherever I am, I'll go on and just make a few live each morning. And that way every day there's a new fresh listing coming up. That's one way. But the other way that I tend to do it, because most of us already know your work week is pretty full. So to do your normal work week plus add additional listings to stock up drafts can sometimes not pan out the way you plan it. So when that happens, I have always so much jewelry and the back side of things that I will just get a Ziploc and put jewelry in it and just take that Ziploc. And jewelry is so easy to do no matter where you are. It's easy to photograph. You can photograph it in your hand. Yes, I've actually done it with Photo Room, held it in my hand and photographed it. You can do it anywhere, and it's so light.
Photo Room is a game changer for listing on the go.
Such a game changer.
Oh my gosh. How did we live without it?
I was just thinking that. Yeah, how did we do it before? We had a poster board everywhere we went. That was
right.
Yeah, always looking for the perfect background. Yeah, it was hard.
Perfect lighting, perfect everything. Now I'm like, I mean, I list from everywhere with no matter what in the background. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't.
And the way I get an extra level of satisfaction when one of my drafts sell, because the way that I do it, and I'm assuming you guys do it similarly, I list it into my inventory in Consign Cloud and then bring it over to list perfectly. It sits in list perfectly until I'm ready to put it on the different platforms. But because I listed it in Consign Cloud already, it's already on Shopify, my Facebook shop, and my Instagram shop. So those don't get a lot of traffic unless you're driving people there and specifically directing. But man, when I get a sale of something that I haven't listed anywhere and it's just just a website or a Facebook sale, that makes me so excited.
Right.
I put half the work into that. I love it.
That is more money in your pocket because you didn't spend as much time on that item. Right? I mean, winner.
Libby, that's how I feel about when we do like our Instagram lives or Facebook lives, like when it sells there and I haven't had to do anything else listing wise with it.
Yep.
What kind of things have you listed on the road, Libby?
Well, you know the answer to this because the first time I listed on the road was inspired by Samantha because she taught me how to do it. And with Consign Cloud, I now had that the ability that I didn't really have to get a listing up elsewhere. So this summer when we were in Maine, I was at a thrift shop. I guess it was a consignment shop actually. And I bought a box of miniatures. I love listing miniatures, the furniture, the dollhouse stuff. I don't do dollhouses or anything, but I appreciate them and I enjoy it. So I bought a box of just random dollhouse crap, right? I mean, it really
There's such a craze right now though too, because people make their little TikTok videos and their little things with them.
You know, is that why they're selling so well?
You know who's been doing dollhouses is Shit to Shine, the Instagram girl.
Oh yeah.
She does
times fast.
Oh, I love her. She does dollhouses, and I am not into dollhouses at all, but I just adore her and her personality. And she now has a group, so we need to start tagging her in dollhouse stuff, ladies.
Oh yeah, I have a bunch of dollhouse stuff.
She has a group of young moms, and they're all into making, and they'll make their own furniture and show like how-tos, like how to make miniature candles, but then they also buy a lot too, but then they'll figure out ways to make things. It's I've kind of gone down that rabbit hole a little just because I love her so much.
Oh, well, I gotta check that out.
I find on some of the TikToks that I've watched that a lot less people are making their own furniture and more people are buying existing furniture and just redoing it like you would furniture in your house. They have entire shelves and units set up so that it's unique to their thing. And yeah, it's a whole, miniature world out there.
I'm loving this. Maybe I'm going to specialize because I could travel. I could store it all in my trunk, like a couple hundred pieces of dollhouse furniture easily. And it's fun. I love it. Yeah, so I listed that on the road. That was my first foray into that. And then I had a couple pieces of jewelry we picked up at a flea market that I also listed while I was on the road, and super easy. Loved it. So fun. I don't bank listings. It sounds like you guys like to bank listings and drafts. I don't do that, but
mine's situational. Like I say, if I have a ton of time and do it, then it's easier on my vacation. If I'm going on somewhere where I can't source, then I like to have a bank draft. But if I'm actually somewhere in a car and I know I'm going to be sourcing, I don't bank anything. Well, I use my bank though, because I buy a lot.
I know I should have a bank. It'd be better for me with whatever happens in my personal life. I know I'd have even if it was just 10 or 20 listings in there that I could say, oh, okay, I don't have to feel so bad today. I can just throw up some of these. but I get too excited about my listings. I get too excited about my stuff. If I put the time to photograph it and list it into my inventory, I want the world to see it. If something sells on or is on one platform and it doesn't sell, then I'm like, okay, well, that's because I didn't put it on all the other platforms for the rest of the world to see. So I have a FOMO when it comes to platforms, and I want it on all of them, and I want people to see it.
Platform FOMO.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's another.
I like to hit that list button. I want that immediate gratification. If I put the work in, I am not waiting to list it. There'll be more stuff tomorrow. Like I've just, I can't do it.
But then something happens in my personal life, and then I'm like, crap, I shouldn't have listed those 40 things yesterday. I could have done 20 of them today and not felt so bad.
You know, I'm going to go with my motto for listing is tomorrow's not guaranteed. So I'm just going to do it all today.
Yeah.
Get her done.
There you go. I like it.
Yeah, that's my listing motto. There you go.
All right. So I have a question. So coming off of our March Madness collab Listapalooza, we could not have made a more wordy title than what we did through all that. We shared some tips and tricks along the way, which I loved because we had Sarah Marshall also sharing some tips and tricks, and she does more. She's a brick and mortar, so it's so nice to get all the different ideas and things. Any that y'all really want to share here and now?
I think so. One thing that just seems like a no-brainer, but if you don't like consciously do it, it can really mess up your whole flow, your whole listing flow, whether you're at home or on the go or in your dining room or on the roof or wherever you're going to list from, is having your tools nearby. You got to have like your scale and your measuring tape and your lint roller. Have that nearby. Have it in a spot where you know that's where it is each time. So it's just easy just to go and grab it and keep up with that flow. Because the second that you have to, every time you get interrupted, it takes 20 minutes to get back on track. I saw that somewhere and it's a real statistic, I swear. I
agree. Yes.
I tell it to my husband every time he interrupts me. I'm like, you just wasted 20 more minutes of my life because of your 1 minute question. But if you get derailed and you're like, oh dang, where did I set my lint brush down, my lint roller, then that's going to take you 20 more minutes to get back on track with that listing, back in the flow of what you were doing. Or in my case, you might as well just be done for the day because now I'm too distracted and I'm on to something else.
Well, that would be even worse if you didn't have it in the room, but yet it was in a whole different room of the house and you had to actually remove your body from your workspace. Then you're really 20's gone to 40 minutes at that point.
Yep. Don't let other people touch your stuff either. I have other lint rollers in this house. They're strategically placed everywhere. We have animals. You need them. Nobody touches this one. It stays here within my arm's reach at all times.
Does it have like a shock collar attached to it so that if anybody touches it, they get zapped?
I love it.
So my mom taught me, this is on topic, but stay with me for a second here. So,
okay.
All right. So my mom's handy, right? My dad's very handy, but my mom's very handy and she's very organized. And you know how it is with the people in your house. They take your kids take the scissors. All of a sudden your tape is missing. You never see it again. You know, all of these things just happen to disappear. So my mother taught me from an early age, you always have to have your own set of tools. And I think this applies to your reselling tools. Yes. And it's okay to hide them. Like it's okay to stash them in your underwear drawer. It's okay to stash them wherever anybody is not going to look. And to have that stash and make it off limits to the rest of your household and make it just exclusively for your listing task. Yeah.
So. I love this. I do that in my car. I'm glad I'm not the only one that like broadens that because there is always a flashlight and a multi-tool and some other things in my car. And I periodically move them because if my husband finds out where I keep my Swiss Army knife, I don't have a Swiss Army knife in there anymore. And so I have to shuffle them to different places around my car.
So he can't find it.
Yeah. Exactly. So keep your tools nearby, hidden from the rest of your family.
I think that is stellar advice. I think that's one of those bits of tips that most people don't share. Like I think of all the other tips and tricks I've heard over time, and that's a goodie, a really goodie. It makes me know that I got some work to do because mine is not all in the same place right now. And so I did just order some bins. And so I have a bin now to put them all in. I just have to get them together and do it. That wasn't what my bins were ordered for, but now that we've just had this conversation, one of those bins is going to be up here.
Yes. And always put them away when you are done working, like make that part of your habit, because you think, you know, we've all done it. Oh, I'm just going to set my favorite pen down right here. I'll remember.
All right. Do we all have
I can't find my pen. I have a meeting. I have to take notes. Yeah.
Yes.
So always put it back as part of your workflow when you are done for the day.
We all have a favorite pen. Everybody has a favorite pen.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm so glad to know that.
I couldn't find mine this morning.
This one has a very specific grippy on it, and I like this grippy.
Mine all has with the smooth flow of the ink. That's mine.
Mine is a smooth flow. I love,
but doesn't smudge.
It does not smudge. Correct. Mm-hmm.
I love a good smooth flow, but I always have to have something sassy. It has to have a little fling, a little bling, a little something to it. So.
I'm sensing some new merch. We need to have the perfect pen.
Oh, the perfect pen.
There we go.
It combines all of the things that we love.
We find
your grippy,
and you can put our faces on it because we're sassy.
I mean, who doesn't want that bling? Who doesn't want this bling, y'all? Wouldn't you love to write with a pen that's got us looking at you? Wouldn't you? Come on, man. You know you want it. You know you want it. Oh, Lord.
Good news is your family probably won't touch it.
Right.
Amen.
Oh, no, I can see that going to school for show and tell. My mom has this, and I don't really know why, but I thought.
Faces on, this is a total sidetrack. Faces on thing were such a thing for a long time. My grandparents ran a souvenir type store where you could come in, get a quick portrait, and then it would go on a wall calendar, the apron, the mug, they owned it before my youngest brother was alive. So there is a ton of stuff at my grandparents' house with just me and my first brother. And whenever we find one of these random wonderful things, we give it to the youngest brother so he can always remember us.
All right, we need to see some of this stuff. Like, I need to see it. It sounds hilarious.
Yes. Must share. There's your show and tell, Samantha. We all want to see it. We all
yes.
So back on the listing tips, one of my favorite listing tips, in fact, when we were doing them in a previous live that we did, Libby stole it. She said it first. She beat me to my favorite. And
I have another one for today. So go ahead.
Well, mine is batch listing, always batch listing. And the reason it's so important to me is, as I've mentioned in 115 episodes, I'm sure, that I'm ADD. I think I've probably said it in every episode. So I do better with categorizing things and knowing that this is this, right? So batch listing is such a crucial thing for me for success in listing. And by doing that, if you want to batch list, there's so many ways you can do it. You can batch list it by item, right? You can say, okay, I'm going to do all jeans today. That's typically how I do it, because as you all know, I'm not all consignment. I am probably 80%, 85% sourcing reseller, and the rest is going to head over to the consignment area. So I don't have as many consigners to keep their product safe together, worry about misplacing it as you ladies do. Somebody who's in the consignment business, I know Libby a lot of times likes to do it by consigner. So when you batch list by consigner, I would think you would batch that, not just consigner to consigner to consigner, but take that consignment and then group the items in there. Is that what you do, Libby?
Oh yeah, I put it all. I like to use my dining room table. I have a 4 foot by 4 or 5 foot by 5 foot. I have a big dining room table, square, and I like to take it all out for one consigner and just sort it into groups. And nothing makes me happier than that. I love it.
See, that's your mother in you right there.
Yeah.
That's your mother.
Yeah. And like our previous episode, when we talked about some of the fears of consignment, people get scared because they think they're going to mix up. We say batch like items and they say, oh my gosh, I'm going to mix up so-and-so's with so-and-so's. But yeah, as long as you do it within that consignor, then that's easy. Is I put my hanging things together, put my flat lay things together, put my hard goods together. However, I'm going to be photographing that item is how you batch those up. And yeah, it helps you breeze right through it.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it.
All right, so we ready for my tip?
Yes, I'm like,
it has to do with Samantha's and having everything ready, and so you're not interrupted and you're minimizing distractions. You need to stay focused. Focus is so key for me, and it's one of the ways I found to do that. You guys are going to get so sick of me saying this. You already know what I'm going to say, but I'm just going to keep saying it. Is
spaghetti
time
poodle.
it.
Oh,
time it. You gotta time it.
spaghetti poodle.
I wasn't gonna say the spaghetti poodle for once, but yeah, is use a timer. Use a timer, absolutely. And in the book club, the Slight Edge, we're doing. We talk about Parkinson's law and how the amount of time, and it applies to so many things, but your task will expand to the amount of time you have. So time yourself, put that timer on, put your phone away or turn your notifications off and concentrate on that one batch of items for whatever period you want. But make it short enough where you can, get a bathroom break and a coffee break and all that stuff in there. Be kind to yourself, but absolutely just try that timer, try that focus. And I think it's amazing. It has just worked wonders for me getting things done. So that's my tip, and I am forcing it on all of you. So,
and then I find that I get in such a groove. So I'll set the timer and then I'll be like, usually mine's like 20 more minutes, babe. I'll come down, I'll cook dinner. And then an hour and 20 minutes later, I got some hungry people standing in my doorway saying, so when are we having dinner? Because that 20 minutes, I was so focused and I got in such a groove. I usually end up accomplishing way more than I set out to accomplish because I'm in the zone. I'm not distracted. I'm in it.
Yeah. That's a hard thing to stop when you're in a zone and move on to the next thing,
And sometimes you don't have to stop.
You what, Libby?
Sometimes you don't have to stop.
Yeah.
Like
sometimes
I'm in a groove. I just keep going.
They can eat cereal. It's fine. Neglect your family. Do your listings. There we go.
Maybe dinner with the family might be worth stopping the timer for. I don't know. I mean, look, you could kind of go.
My listings are putting the cereal on that table, guys.
Yes.
I got extra marshmallows in that cereal and that Lucky Charms because of my listing. Oh Lord, people. Oh. All right, what else listing? I was thinking about platforms, and I know we all use Consign Cloud now, so there's a different way of listing because we're typically listing through Consign Cloud first, but a lot of people don't do that, and they'll pick a platform, or some use List Perfectly. There's all these different places. I have not started a listing originating in List Perfectly yet.
I have done it just so I can say I know the flow and how to do it, and I've actually even entered some recommendations to them based on how that flow works, because while it is very intuitive and very easy, there are some things that they could work on. So yeah, I've done it just to say I can do it and help walk somebody through it. And if I didn't use Consign Cloud for all their amazing benefits, consignment related, I would directly list in List Perfectly.
All right. So wait, newsflash, guys, you don't even know this. Our items in our C-Chats merch eBay store have all been organically listed, natively listed in List Perfectly.
There you go.
So there you go. C-Chats does list natively in List Perfectly.
Yeah, because you don't want that attached to the business.
I'm the one. Yeah, that's me.
There you go.
Right here.
Who knew?
I have done it. I have done it for people that my daughter will bring me something and say, hey, I don't want this, but I don't want so-and-so to find out that I'm gonna sell it. So I have listed a few things in there just so it's not on my website and on the Sorting with Samantha things, which is a pain because then I have to keep track of it separately.
Oh yeah. That's, I mean, we're so spoiled with our process now, like the Consign Cloud to Shopify to list perfectly. Yeah, when you have to do something, let me tell you, it was a pain it's more tracking not to use that process, but
I am still not finding that easy. I am missing the days of just flat listing on eBay and then putting it where I want it. And
well, when you send me
that
plane ticket to come out and help you at your house, then I will also sit next to you and go through some workflows.
I really need it. I really need to find the fast flow on that because I used to be able to list a ton of things in a Listapalooza like that off of eBay. I could just go, and then copy paste into what was our old software that we used for our inventory. But with the Consign Cloud, I just can't find my jam. I cannot.
It's mental. It's totally mental.
I think it is too. I think it's like
it's
my
totally
son with
mental.
math. You know, he says he's not good at math. Well, he is. It's mental. I think it's mental. I think I need somebody to wake my brain up and say, no, this is how you do it. It's easy.
Every time I try to do that with you, you go, oh God, I just can't, and I'm just not there.
I need the in-person because it's so overwhelming to me. I have to see it. I have to walk through it with somebody repeatedly to get it going. We're not all the same. We're not. I mean,
I was gonna say there's so many ways to do it too. I'm sure if Libby and I sat down next to each other and showed the way that we do it, we're doing it differently. Anyways, I don't fill out the brand. I don't fill out the size. I put it all in the title and just do it that way because I need to see my entire title. Is that a good way to do it? I don't know, but that's the way I do it. Analytics
I do it differently. I do it differently.
So you don't do each little thing on.
I recently tried. I did 100 items thinking I would get myself back in the routine of doing brand size because they lay it all out there for you. It didn't make a difference how it flowed over to Shopify, which doesn't make a difference how it flows to Lift Perfectly. So I thought it was a waste of my time. I have a better flow just putting a whole title in there. Like I'm writing out my eBay title. That is all I do. And then I go to shipping weight, the description, and then the categories and things after that. But I basically skip the whole top part. I have a category. I have my title. That's it.
All right.
It flows better for me. See, there are so many different ways that people can use the same software and use it so that it flows better for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I need this. I really need this because what has happened to me in the past several months is that I don't list much at all anymore because
you don't have your jam yet.
Yeah. I got to get my jam back. I loved it when I was listing like crazy, and I figured out what I'm going to do with my large amount of items and how I'm going to get through it. I don't know that this is the episode to share my aha moment. Libby, is it? Because I had an aha moment about.
I think you need a whole Get Real episode on your aha moment.
Get Real episode. Maybe we need to Get Real.
Cut the recording. Record another one. You can't tease it and then not say it. Everybody better subscribe right now or they're going to miss it. You better hit those buttons, subscribe. Tell Alexa that this is what you need in your life. I don't know, whatever you need to make sure you get it. Do it.
Molly's aha moment. Yeah.
I had an aha moment and it wasn't even painful, y'all. It didn't even hurt. It was just
gonna forget it by the time we record another episode.
Well, we're gonna have to do a Get Real because it was a Get Real moment for me. And so yes, if you're subscribed, you'll get that when it comes out. But I'm going to do a Get Real with y'all so that I can tell you about my aha moment.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
There's nothing better than an aha moment.
That's my product aha moment. Now I need a listing aha moment and we will just be slaying dragons left and right.
Can't wait to record that one.
So I wanted to go back to the listing platform because have you all had over the time an opportunity to organically list on the majority of the platforms you use, like Poshmark organically, eBay organically? Yeah. So do you have all in all a favorite? I'm just curious, like, since you have, don't go to what your system is now, because it is the way you do it, because you have a business with so many consigners. But if you were told tomorrow you can pick a platform and list one item, what platform do you like the best to list on?
Oh, I like them all for so many different reasons.
No, you got to pick one. Sorry.
I like eBay. Sorry.
All right.
That's not going to
eBay
change.
for you.
Poshmark's easy to list on.
Why?
I do not like listing on Poshmark.
Oh.
I'm going to say Mercari, actually, which is the very unpopular opinion. You can tell me how much you hate that in the comments.
I can't wait till this. I can't wait to type in the comments.
So see, I like Poshmark because I think it is very easy. As a seller, I think it's extremely easy. But then on the flip side, as a buyer, I like eBay because I get so much more information before I purchase something. Right. And that's the difference, I think, why we find that we've said since the get-go with Consignment Chats is eBay is really our baby. And even though it takes a little more time and detail, I personally think that the reason is because buyers get so much more information and a little more trust, I think, in that, because of all the detail that you have to add.
I feel more confident shopping on eBay than I do on Poshmark. There's a lot of, hobby sellers. What would you call it? People just selling stuff out of their closet that don't, take the care that people that do this professionally do when we're selling. Right. So I feel way more confident shopping on eBay than I do on Poshmark or Mercari.
Now, I have a ton of friends that just list out of their closet, don't even know what a reselling business is. They just are using it like a yard sale.
Yeah.
Just to let go of their stuff. So
I did it on Facebook for years.
Yep. All right. Anything else listing wise, my friends? I'm trying to come up with another question. I love to talk about the platforms because I think that everybody has different opinions. Mercari.
I like it. So, okay.
Why do you like it?
The reason I don't like listing on Poshmark is because I don't feel like it. You always have to select them categories and the subcategories. Drives me nuts because every platform is different with their categories and their subcategories. True. And where is the cardigan actually at? So I like that on Mercari. I feel like it's quite intuitive. I just type in a title, put in my pictures, and then there's suggested ones, even though they suggest like 8 of them. It's usually pretty quick to hit the suggested and find which one that you want to put it in. It's quicker than trying to search and figure out, is cardigan under sweaters, or is it under tops, or is it under and then the brand is also like it's pretty quick with their clicks. I'm not saying Mercari is the greatest platform for selling on, as far as like their shipping keeps changing and they've had some glitches, but as far as listing, I think it's the quickest one for me. And I like it.
Wow. Love it.
I've not had that experience, but
all right, I
haven't. Maybe I think it's a pain in the butt. Yeah.
Maybe it's because I fill my titles in, like it's just the flow of the titles, which is why I use Consign Cloud differently.
Yeah,
no, my titles are totally in there, like totally my eBay titles, totally.
Yeah, your titles are
great. I need to go a little deeper on this title thing, Samantha. We're gonna have to go a little deeper on this soon. I feel it.
I'm sorry, but I can't talk anymore about that because we have to have a separate episode for things, apparently.
We just keep this recording like 24 hours a day. We'll still be
I was ready to spill the beans. I was ready, but we'll do a Get Real episode.
You only have so many revelations at once, and you have met your quota for this.
I've met my quota. All right. What would you say your average is on how many listings you get done daily?
I get done at least 20. Like 20 is I need to get 20 done a day. I don't always list all 20 on platforms because sometimes I'm wanting to have a bank. Like I will go into it knowing I'm going to be gone for a day or two and I still want to have consistent listings for that week. So I don't always list them all.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
think between 20 and 40 is usually about where I land for a day.
Go Speed Racer. Woohoo! And hey, if you list one a day, you list one a day. So don't be listening to these numbers and going, oh,
Yes.
no, you list one a day.
Yep.
There you have it.
You didn't say what your number was, girl.
Well, because I can't right now. We'll get to that. Well, you can ask me that down the road. Right now, I'd have to kind of do a monthly average.
Because you need to list that
yearly average.
Consistency is key.
What did we say that last time? I just need to leave.
All right. So at the end of every month, guys, we are doing a live recap of what happened for the month, what our sales were like, if we have any bolos, all of that good stuff. So Molly will be checking in on that. So if you want to hear about where she is, we're going to coax some real numbers out of her at the end of the month on the live. Yeah.
And that's why friends right now who are on YouTube watching us and not listening on podcasts need to click the little bell, because you will get reminders when we go live.
Yes.
You don't want to miss it. It's so much fun. So much fun.
Also, make sure to join our community so that you can get a reminder in there when we're going live.
Mm-hmm.
Facebook.
And for so many other reasons with the community. There are so many reasons you want to join it.
Yes. Oh. If you're hearing us talk about this Listapo, whatever it was, you need to get over into the Facebook community so you can be a part of our Listapaloozas, because we are just motivating the heck out of everybody over there and boosting everybody up. Even if it's one a day, that is consistency, and that is good. That's what we want.
That is something to celebrate.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. 100%. All right, friends, I think we did some good chatting on listings.
Yes.
I'm a little bit inspired to go list.
Ooh. Even more after the Listapalooza.
Right? I mean, after breaking it down now, I've got this middle game. I got to get through this. All
right, you got your timer? Molly doesn't like the timer idea.
So many things all at once now.
Look at that. Look
at you. Is that one of those really annoying sounding ones too? So you really...
It just does a beep beep at the end. You just do where you want it and it beep beeps.
Oh, I like it.
It's mild. Yeah.
That's it. Little beep 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 beep. I think we have that linked up in our favorite things.
The timer. Oh yeah. We definitely do. Yeah. If you're looking for a good timer suggestion, it's always worth, if you're not using your phone to list or process items, if you're in a brick and mortar, put it away. You can go without it for, 50 minutes, 25 minutes, whatever you're doing. Just put it away and use that other timer. Yeah.
Yep. Love it.
All right,
ladies. Until next time.
Cheers. Thanks for joining Libby, Molly, and Samantha, the ladies of Consignment Chats, as we build a resourceful community of collaborative resellers. Find all the ways to connect with us on consignmentchats.com. Episodes are available on YouTube and anywhere you get your podcasts. In addition, join our free private Facebook community.